Welcome back to another episode of hairspray on Rock Resurgence Radio, your go-to source for all things rock and roll.
Today we're cranking the dials up to 11 and exploring the resurgence of hair metal. We've got a couple of bands that are capturing the true essence of the 80s, and let me tell you, they're blowing the roof off.
Welcome back, everybody, to Rock Resurgence Radio. My name is Chad, the host, and
I'm your co-host, Bergy.
That's right. We are back for another installment of hairspray. This is where we take a look at a newer band that has an 80s feel. It's, Chris, you kind of did a little, we got to be over 2000, have to release an album after 2000. And
we kind of decided they're newer yet. They might be a little bit, might still be older because it's 2024, but glory years of hair metal were 83-ish to 93-ish or somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'd say that'd be right, yep.
And so if they came out after 2000 and had a sound of hair metal or feel like they're bringing it back or having a little resurgence, to play on our channel name.
Exactly.
They qualified. And then we decided they had to have an album out in the last 5 years, even though on the first episode I cheated by a year, I think.
That's okay.
My last Vegas pick, but
yeah, no. I think even if it's within 10 years, because that's at 14, that's still way out of the 93 range. So, I mean, we're not that technical. I mean, if it's close, it's close enough.
We make up our own fucking rules as we go.
We go, the rules change.
Yeah,
you'll see that. Anyways, we have a couple bands. Mine is the name of the band is Maverick, and his is
Crazy Lixx.
And that's a really catchy name, so I think I'm gonna let you go first.
I will go first, and I picked this band specifically because of the fact that they really did, like, if you read their Wikipedia page, it says they're founded in late 2002 by Danny Rexon and Vic Zeno. And this is where I'm saying, in an attempt to bring back 1980s style glam metal. So they're perfect for the kind of stuff that I like. And they really do have an 80s glam metal type of sound.
After listening to it a little bit, you sent me your songs earlier, and I have their stuff in my library already, but I didn't really listen to them. So I listened to a little bit what you sent me, and I was like, man, these guys really do sound 80, whereas mine has a taste of the 80s, but it still sounds more current than the 80s. But your band really does bring back the hair. I
mean, we did we had an American Bombshell on our couple of our episodes. Well, actually, our last Hair Apparent, and then of course we did the interview. And if you haven't checked it out, go back and check it out. But
do it.
They were like a throwback, but they do like your Maverick pick. Those guys had a
little more
very modern sound too.
Yep.
But you could feel the influence of the hard rock of the 80s to me.
And when we talked to American Bombshell, they even said that was kind of their thing. That's kind of the music they listened to. Therefore, it kind of bled into their music that they made. So, if you haven't checked that interview out, check it out. It was really cool. We got to sit down with all the guys. So, without further ado.
I'm going to go through just a little bit, read a little bit here about them again. They began playing in local clubs in 2007. They're from Sweden. Their debut album, Loud Minority, was on a local label, Swed Metal Records or Swede Metal Records, maybe it's called.
Probably.
Album, while not huge commercial success, was well received in the music community, being ranked at number 3 in Sleaze Rock's Reader's Top 20 Albums of 2007. Sleaze Rocks is a website that I frequent quite a bit.
I don't frequent as often as you, but you told me about it, and I have looked at it, and I follow their Facebook page, but for some reason I got them as one of my favorites, but it doesn't come up in my feed very often, which pisses me off. I don't know how to fix that.
And they do have, and it is coming up on the end of the year. When this episode hits, it might be damn near Christmas, so Merry Christmas, by the way.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a good one.
They do every year. They put out a top 10 albums of the year, and so that's another good place to find out what's current, in this kind of music.
Right.
So I'd recommend checking that out. Now, we each picked 5 songs. I tried to pick some songs that I like. It would have been easy to just go to Spotify or Apple Music and figure out which their top 5 were. I think they have 6 or 7 albums. Well, I'll bring it up here. I guess I'll talk a little bit about them all. Maybe I'll just name off the albums. But I did pick 1 or 2 or 1 off of each of 5 different albums, I think is how I did it. There's a few songs that are more popular possibly, but I just picked the 5 that, fit my ear, I guess, so to speak. Okay, so Crazy Lixx has 7 current albums, and then they have a couple of singles that they've put out on Apple Music, at least, off of a new album that's coming out in February of 2025. Actually, I said that wrong. They have 8 albums and a 9th one on the way, but a couple of singles from that 9th album, which I picked one of those songs for my 5. So their first album was Loud Minority, I mentioned, in 2007, New Religion in 2010, Riot Avenue in 2012, self-titled Crazy Lixx in 2014, Rough Justice in 2017, Forever Wild in 2019, Street Lethal in 21, and Two Shots at Glory in 2024. The album they got coming out now, I can't remember the name of it, but after we listen to the first song, I'll look it up, or while we're listening to the first song. Now, the first song I picked is off the self-titled album from 2014. The name of the song is Girls of the 80s. What a great song title.
That is. I was looking at another band had a Tales from the Porn.
Oh, yeah, that's Stevie Rochelle's band.
Yeah, they have a song, something about back to the 80s or something like that.
There's quite a few of those, like throwback songs to the 80s. And Stevie Rochelle, of course, he had
Tough.
But they had the American Hair Band song. That was a whole throwback to the whole genre. And then, like you said, Tales from the Porn or Tales of the Porn.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Tales from the Porn.
From the Porn, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, Crazy Lixx, Girls of the 80s. Let's check it out. What'd you think of that one? I don't know if you listened to it before, but
I listened to a little bit of each one today, and I like I said, I really like them. They really do sound like actual 80s. They could have came out in the 80s and you wouldn't know the damn difference. So I dig them, and it's hard. Like all that, I got a bunch of these bands. Like I could probably do 30 of these freaking hair parents, no problem. Just because I find something on Apple Music and then down at the bottom it suggests other bands that you might like, and I go through them all the time and just see if they're any good. Like I did that today and I found about 4 or 5 more that I like. And
that's why you're the host. I think you listen to more music than I do.
Well, I
got that drive. I got that drive,
so I'll throw on whatever. I might throw on my Chad Thompson station and it'll suggest something, and that's another way I find them. But yeah, if I find one, like I found Maverick, and then I'll look at the bottom and they'll suggest other bands that's similar to them, and I'll check those out. I'll check 1 or 2 songs out, and if it's good, I'll check out more and add it to my library. And sometimes, like Crazy Lixx, I found that by another band, and it was suggested. I listened to a couple songs, like, yeah, that's good, and I add it to my library, and then I kind of forget about it. because I'm like, oh, I got to listen to something I know to keep me awake on the way to work or something like that. So, but no, very good.
Yeah, funny that you. This is how I found this band, and I don't remember if it was a while ago. It was at least 10 years ago when I came across these guys. Now they came out in 2007, but it's 2024 now, so that was like 2014. So they only had, I think they had 2 or 3 albums out, and they were in the, the more like this. It wasn't the suggestions. I think it was different. Like it was, It wasn't even Apple Music back then. It was iTunes.
Yep.
But they still had the, if you like this, you probably will like this.
Right.
And so I click on it. I'm like, yeah, shit, that sounds pretty good.
I mean, that's a great marketing thing. That's, if you like this, you might like this. And I'm just like, holy shit, I found so many different bands from that. And, honestly, I should probably listen to these guys a little more. And I plan to do that after I listen to it a little bit today. I'm like, God damn it, why don't I got 3 albums in my library. Why am I not listening to these guys?
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things, there's only so much time in a day.
The American Bombshell guys brought up they asked, because we were talking about this when we were interviewing them, and you had heard one of their songs, and they were super curious about where you heard it or what else you were listening to at the time because of how the algorithm found them for you.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff, like you said.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how these algorithms work, but they work.
So the next song I picked is off their new album that comes out on February 14th of 2025, so Valentine's Day. And the name of the album is Thrill of the Bite. The single I picked is called Little Miss Dangerous.
Cool, let's give it a listen.
Yes. Like to play these through to like at least the chorus.
At least through the chorus.
But when we do it that way, it kind of keeps the things brief, but we probably miss out on some cool solos and things like that. But it's just
exactly. But we're just trying to give you an idea of something that you may want to check out.
Little taste.
And you hear, through the chorus should be good enough to give you a good idea what the song is about, what the band is about,
right.
And if you like it. So yeah, it's always good to widen your what's that called?
Broaden your horizons.
Broaden your horizons. There you go with some new music.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help you broaden your horizons.
Yeah, and we're trying to bring this back in a way.
And
these bands that we're talking about on this type of episode are those bands that are doing that.
And I'm going to say this because I thought this when I was listening to those songs earlier today, and nobody's bringing back grunge.
No, for sure not.
There isn't. I mean, there's no bands that come out. Well,
so if you listen to
very few
Pearl Jam or something on Apple Music, it still, I'm sure, gives you some recommendations.
It might, and maybe I'm just not hearing them. Maybe it's not recommending them to me because I don't listen to that.
Yeah, true.
I did at the time. I listened to some of that stuff, but I really don't anymore. So yeah, maybe that's why they're not suggesting. Maybe there is bands out there that are doing it, and the fans may know. I don't know.
Yeah, but we're not listening to it. You're not going to hear it here.
No, you probably won't hear it here. So,
So this next one that I picked out was one that this is, I think, the first album that I got, and it is their first album, Loud Minority. It came out in 2007, but I think I stumbled across it around, I don't know, somewhere between 2010 probably and 2014, but I'm not exactly sure. There's very many good songs on this album. I kind of had trouble picking one off this album, but this is the one I picked. It's a little bit slower. I wouldn't call it a ballad by any means, but they do have some ballads. It's called Make Ends Meet. Let's just have a listen.
Yeah, I listened to this and the words
Hush now,
pretty cool.
baby, close your
Yeah.
eyes. Mama can't talk you into night. She doesn't ever wanna be away. And that's just what it takes to make
It's a little
it
story.
through the day.
Young couple.
Tears, dry your eyes.
Can't get all their kids things because they gotta make it.
Everybody's been there.
Trying to make ends meet. I'm so tired of being alive and never living. We're born and we die and free, but in between, we're only trying to make ends meet. Hush now, baby, go to sleep. Daddy's working late at the factory. He really wanted to be there for you, but Daddy's gotta do what a man's gotta do. Hold the tears, don't you cry. It's just another night in paradise. Trying to make ends meet. I'm so tired of being alive and never living. We're born and we die free, but in between, we're only trying to make ends meet.
I'll leave it there. But so later on in the song, when they're singing that chorus, and I like just like the phrasing of the words, the band kind of quiets down, and it's just kind of the drum beat, and it's just the guys like singing it at a little higher level, I think.
Yep.
But the maybe phrasing isn't the right word, but I just like the way the lyrics are put together with the trying to make ends meet. I'm so tired of being alive and never living. We're born and we're dying free, but in between, we're only trying to make ends meet. I don't know.
Yeah, that one really stuck out to me when I was listening to it because I caught on to the words right away, and I'm like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
And the title kind of gives it away. I mean that it's about trying to make ends meet in this crazy world, and they're missing out on some of their kids' stuff. So they're trying to explain it to their kid, and doing it in a song, and it's a dandy song. I like that. That was probably the favorite one that one in the '80s one I liked.
It's a dandy.
It is a dandy.
So did they remind you of anybody? To me, a little bit danger-ish.
Yeah, I could see that. But his voice is just not the same. Like
No.
But that's the other thing I liked about him is they didn't. Every time I listen to a new band, I can pick something out on. I'm like, oh, that sounds like that. That sounds like that. These guys, I couldn't really pick normally I can pick who the singer sounds like. That one I couldn't really.
They sound more like a time period than another band. Maybe.
Right, which is great because it's original, and the name is totally 80s.
Yeah, you got
Lixx.
it. Yeah, having two X's.
Yep, two X's.
Yeah,
Yep,
crazy
so-
Lixx, not Licks, but with two X's.
I know, it's just cool.
Yeah.
It's like double X rated.
Yep, and it's a cool logo, and maybe
It is.
actually, maybe that this album caught me on one of those. Like I said, if you like this, you might like this, and I'm like, crazy Lixx, and the logo popping out. I'm like, I better check that out because it sounds cool.
It sounds cool. It looks cool. Yeah.
And then the music does sound cool too.
Yep, it does. Very good.
So I got two left, and then we'll get on to your band. But
Okay.
this one is from Riot Avenue, which is also, I think, about the time I discovered it. This album was popped up. I did listen to Loud Minority first, and then I think this one. And there was 3 or 4 other songs on this album that I thought maybe I'd pick too. But Fire It Up has a just a good rock and just a good representation of their sound to me. So let's hear it. I heard a little Kiss in there, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the music, it kind of reminds me of one of the Kiss songs. I can't think of it. I won't be able to come up
Yeah,
with it
that's
in the
okay.
spot. But yeah, the music, the guitar riff kind of reminded me of a Kiss song. But yeah, I could see that a little bit. Yep.
I had to turn the volume up there a little bit. That one was a little quieter for some reason, but maybe just the little bit older album. But I should have used. They did that song is remixed or whatever on
Remastered or whatever.
On their Two Shots at Glory. Actually, if you, a good starting point might be to grab that one first.
Is that like your greatest hits?
I think it came out in 2023. I think it has one or two new songs, but I think it has a lot of remixed or remastered whatever songs from the older stuff.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a greatest hits. Two Shots at Glory was released in February of 24. Includes 3 new tracks and 9 remixes of songs they released on previous albums.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that probably would be a good one to get.
That's not a bad one to just start with.
Yeah.
And if you like that, well, you're going to like all the other stuff too, probably. It's
sure.
just like when we grew up in the 80s and we heard Van Halen 1984 first, maybe, and went back into their back catalog. Pick this one up and probably do the same. So.
Exactly. Good idea.
Now I got one left.
Okay.
And the one I got left is a song from, we talked about this on a roundtable with the soundtracks.
Oh, okay.
This is one that's on that Peacemaker soundtrack from the TV show Peacemaker.
Okay.
It's kind of a DC Comics superhero. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty cool, but it's loaded with 80s music or 80s style music. And this was one of the songs they picked, and actually I think it's in the very first episode. The name of the song is Rock in a Hard Place, and it's from the album New Religion. The next verse or whatever, so I let it go for a little extra, but
that's okay.
Yeah. So
that's not a problem.
If you like the 5 songs that I picked out, you're gonna like Crazy Lixx.
Yeah, it's definitely 80s sounding. I like it, and I will be listening to it a little more than I have in the past. There's just so damn much music.
Yeah, so I'll just wrap up my Crazy Lixx. I'll just kind of leave it there, but I think we like to talk about the old stuff a lot. But we need to mix in some newer stuff too, so we can kind of get this out to y'all. I love hair metal. I love rock and roll, and I'm just happy that there's bands like this that are putting out stuff now,
Yep. So you can expand your horizons and your library and get some new stuff in there. I know a lot of people get stuck in a rut and they just don't want to get out of it. I'm all about it. I want to find as many bands as listen to as much music as I possibly can in this lifetime. I'm only here for a short amount of time, and I want to listen to it all. I want to. I really do. My band, like I said in the beginning, is called Maverick. They got they had a debut. It doesn't show up as anything you can get because it's before they got a major label, but they got 5 albums, with the latest one, Silver Tongue, released in 2024. I'm going to read you a little bit about these guys. Basically their story. It all begins with an idea. Maverick was founded by David Balfour, Ryan Sebastian Balfour, and Chris Van England. It's spelled a little different than the country, but I think that's how you say it. England. In a small room with an electric drum kit, 2 guitarists, and a flaming ambition to be a famous rock band and tour the world. They wrote a few songs before bringing Mike Ross in on drums and Tony Curran on bass. After playing a number of shows around Ireland, they're from Northern Ireland, by the way, the next port of call was to record an EP. Just before recording, Maverick parted ways with Tony and went into Railway Studios to take their first few steps in fulfilling their dream. Not long after recording their debut, Talks Cheap, Maverick sent out a press packs to all the record labels they could find, and sure enough, one replied. German record label Massacre Records. They signed Maverick to a 1-album deal that was the next tick on the checklist, which allowed them a chance to release their debut album worldwide on a credible label. With change in circumstances, there was also change in the band. Maverick gained bass player Richie Diver, guitarist Rick Cardwell, and lost guitarist and founding member Chris Van Engelen. To bring their sound to a professional level, they needed a professional studio. Producer Neil Calderwood of Manor Park Studio brought the sound to life, and the result was Quid Pro Quo, their officially first album. The next level, after the release of Quid Pro Quo, Maverick went on their final tour with Swedish band The Poodles. That was the next box ticked. The tour was great success, making many business relationship fans and lifelong friendships. The tour manager, Eddie Freiberger, called a meeting with Maverick during the tour. He offered 3-album record contract with Metalopolis Records, and an offer of band management. Maverick accepted both graciously and now have had the tools they needed to take the world by storm. They recorded Big Red with 2 guest musicians, Kane Roberts, formerly of Alice Cooper, and Jacob Samuels, the singer of Swedish rock band The Poodles. And 3 of my songs, I believe, are off this album, the Big Red. Next, with the departure of Mike Ross as one-third of the songwriting trio, whom had been in the band since their first show, Maverick were unsure of how their sound would be affected without his writing contribution. He had been an instrumental part of not only songwriting, but the whole feel of the band. Maverick also parted ways with Rick Cardwell. The boys hired Terry McHugh on guitar and John Miller on drums. Terry left the band just after their tour with The Treat. The Balfour brothers were now on their own. To write the music, Dave and Ryan very quickly realized that the loss of Mike would not hinder the songwriting at all, but instead enable the brothers to write the music they wanted to always wanted, and Cold Star Dancer was the result. It was by far the best reviewed album to date. Steve Morris from Storm Zone helped the guys out for over a year while they found a permanent replacement. I'm going to skip down here. It's getting kind of long here.
It is.
I
know, I'm teasing.
Sorry. Their new album, Silver Tongue, was a pivotal point in the band's career after coming out of COVID in one piece and the weather bug, the fallout, weathering the fallout of backup tour schedules for a few years. Maverick had been off the radar for a while. Silver Tongue is what came out of it, refining their sound further and changing the way things were done. Guitarist Mike Sebastian Balfour took to being the main producer for the album, with drums being recorded in the USA and lead vocals, mixing and mastering done by Neil Calderwood. Anyway, Silver Tongue was released in 2024 and is their latest release, and I have 2 songs off of that. And I think you guys will like them all. So without further ado, without my long-windedness here, we can jump into Maverick.
Okay. A couple of quick questions, or one quick question. I didn't see or hear. When did they start?
It doesn't say in there.
Okay. But they're so new. Like Wikipedia, they're not on there.
They're not on there. There's the Mavericks.
Yeah, there's the
which
Mavericks.
Is kind of a folky,
not
kind of band.
this.
It's not them. So it was their second album. Yep.
Yeah, and that came out, it says 2017. So we're talking, 10 years.
Yeah.
Around. And actually, I see on their website there's a Farewell Richie Diver. This is back on. Yep. Just a few months, less than a month ago.
I read it. He's gonna do one more. They have a big show in February, I think.
And he's been their bass player for 12 years, so that's probably about how long they've been around.
Yep. And then he's doing that big one, and Crazy Lixx is on the bill.
Yes, that's the next thing I was going to point out is they're playing
the treatment is really good.
Yeah, Wildfest in Belgium. There's probably
Valentina.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of bands on here that might fit into our.
Yep, I looked up that Bullet Rain.
Yeah,
they're pretty good, and then it showed me a bunch of different ones that I checked out today.
Listen to these guys for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're on the. It's just a coincidence they're on the bill with Crazy Lixx at this thing in Belgium.
I was going to mention that, I kind of forgot, but yeah. So
wasn't planned at all.
No, February I think is when that. It's called The Wildest, is the name of the event, and I think it's Wildfest. Yeah, and I don't know where that's at, but I think it's
in Belgium, May 23rd and 24th.
Yep. So yeah, I guess we're
probably not going. Yeah.
Oh, we're not. Okay, we're not going. We can't afford it
unless we have 8 million subscribers by then, and we can afford to.
Unless we're making a little more money. But yeah, no, I like them. Did you check them out?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna start it off with. Sweet Surrender, I believe, is the one we're gonna play first, and that is off their Silver Tongue album, released in 2024.
Okay.
I can't place it either. This is another one I couldn't place.
Me of at the beginning. There's a Warrant song that starts out like that.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Rainmaker.
Yep.
Not quite the same, but
yep. But kind of the same notes. Same notes probably. They're pretty close anyway. So that's the first song. Like I said, that's off their newest album, Silver Tongue. And the next song is going to be Hideaway, which is also off that album.
Okay.
And I don't know. I really enjoy these guys. I don't. These two albums I think are my favorite. The newest one and this Big Red. The others are good too, but there's just something about those two albums that just the songs hit better on that for some reason.
Hear it?
Yep, let's listen to her.
Hideaway.
Hideaway. Like Daughtry.
Yeah. Good voice. I just happened to scroll through their website while we're listening. They had their 10th anniversary show in 2022, so
people get the idea. I mean, that song, I got a little tinge of Daughtry in his voice there, just a little bit. So, I think if you listen to anything long enough, you can kind of pick out something somewhere.
Yeah.
Like there was one band today that I was listening to. I can't remember who the hell it was, but it sounded just like Skid Row's first album. I was just like, holy shit, this is good.
Well, obviously it's great if it sounds like that.
Yeah, and his voice too was really good.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not even following him on Facebook, but Eric Gronwall, the old singer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting tons of his videos, like up on my rock when I go to the Rock Resurgence page, and then it shows like a feed. Like, he's singing like, what did he sing? He sang a Bon Jovi song that I'll Be There For You Today.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's got a good voice. Holy smokes.
Yeah, he does, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bon Jovi, we should probably, we did one Bon Jovi kind of episode.
We did, we did versus the
New Jersey versus
Slippery When Wet.
Yeah, we should do a little deeper dive into them.
We might have to do that.
Anyway,
okay.
Yeah.
On to now we're switching albums, so have a little different sound, a little different recording. So you'll hear Big Red, and I think just if I had to pick a favorite album of theirs, I think this is my favorite. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
The One.
Yep. The name of the song is The One.
You came into my life. I couldn't find the words to let you know. I understand the pain. I understand the face so brave you show. But if only you did know the strength you have inside, you have given me a reason. I no longer need to hide. You wanna run away. You say you wanna spread your wings and fly. You wanna break the chains. You ask me if I want to leave tonight. With you only one feeling will just last forever. And if only one moment will stay with me through life. We'll fall in love.
like that one.
Yeah, it's really good.
Do you have a favorite song? Did you save that for last or not necessarily?
I'll tell you when this list is done because I'm still fairly new into them.
Okay.
Where I don't know the song titles that well. That's like today I was picking out songs for it and I got all their albums and I'm like, I got to listen to the whole album again. Yeah.
I did the same thing kind of a little bit with Crazy Lixx. I'm like, yeah. Is this the one that I think? Yeah. Yes, that's the one.
Yeah,
Whatever,
exactly. You know, and they'll still come on. Like I have a big mix on there and they'll come on my radio and I'm like, I wonder who this is.
Oh yeah, fuck, that's Crazy Lixx or Maverick. Yeah.
I have to look. So, I've only been listening to them probably about 5-6 months or so. Yep. So I'm still kind of new into it. But yeah, I really dig them. They I was reading their words. I almost think they might. It's almost like they're Christian. Their words. Yeah. But they're not. I mean, they're big time beer drinkers and stuff. They talk about it on their website and all that stuff. And so they're partiers, but
Christians drink beer too.
Yeah, but I mean, nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying their words are very kind of lean that way almost,
like inspirational type.
Inspirational, yeah. They're but you'll catch it if you read the lyrics. But if you're just listening, you probably wouldn't even notice.
Right. So like the next song you have, I'm just looking at the title. Sounds like a ballad? No.
Just not really.
Okay. The last song you have has a very interesting title, but anyway.
Yeah, it's a good song. But yeah, they're all good. I didn't pick any stinkers out, but shit, it's not slower.
Well, I like the start.
Yeah, I like the shit. Yeah, I meant faster.
So many years have passed since that day. So many feelings lost to time. The world around is changing, I can't explain. Whenever we forget the way that felt when I held your hand. Whenever you understand, oh yeah. I reach out to touch you, and you call my name. What a gift to hold you, nothing stays the same. Right from the first time I saw you, until the last time running into my arms. I wish I could die so we can be together. The years didn't etch their marks on your face.
Just love that bass.
Yeah.
Why didn't
It's super cool. When it first started to slow down there and the bass kicked in, it reminded me a little bit of Panama from Van Halen,
It goes into that break.
where Dave starts talking about reach down between her legs. But just for a second, I'm like, well, then it changed into the bass.
I never met you. Still scream your name. What we had was so true. Nothing stays the same.
Yeah, it's good. It is good.
Yeah, I like it.
I think I like the one maybe a little bit better still, but that's good. I like it.
Yeah, and this last one's pretty cool too.
Mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle. You know, they couldn't even spell it on Apple Music. It wouldn't give me like. I don't know. I've heard that
Well,
before.
It's a French word, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it should be a Prince song or something, but yeah, I don't think it's an English word.
Maybe it
Probably.
is Mademoiselle. But I've definitely heard that before, so I was surprised when it gave me like an error when it as far as the spelling goes, because I looked it up
Yeah,
on Google.
Actually,
I looked it up on their thing how they had it spelled.
Yeah, I think how they have it spelled. I could be wrong because I mean, I did go to the 1984 North Dakota State Spelling Bee. Just a little brag there.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it is.
I think it might be spelled wrong. But anyway.
Well, then they spelled it wrong. And I'm not taking
But again,
credit
it's
for
not since it's not an English word, it probably wasn't on.
Can you use that in a sentence?
Not right. Not right now. After I look it up and see if it's spelt right, I will.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's check it out. Anyways, the song Mademoiselle, and this is off of Big Red also.
Sorry.
No.
Ooh, I like it so far.
Got a little story for you about this little girl of mine.
It's spelled right. Mademoiselle, an unmarried French girl or woman. Used as a title to They got something off the second album. Good. I like that too. Like, so Mademoiselle is like saying Miss, like your teacher, Miss Johnson, Mademoiselle Johnson.
Oh, okay. Yep.
French, but it's definitely French, or we stole it from the French.
And
whatever.
it was spelled correctly.
It was. I was
So-
thinking M-A-D-A, but it's M-A-D-E.
Oh, that's Madam.
It's like maid, because Madam is M-A-D-A-M.
That's what it is.
No.
M-A-D-A.
It's M-A-D-E. That's why you can't. That's why you couldn't find it. Look at it right here.
Oh, is it E?
Yeah.
Oh, well, shit. I was spelling it wrong.
That's
I still got it wrong. But
Yeah, that's
all
how
right.
I would have spelled it. How you
That's
did.
Yeah, because that's what I said. It's Madam, right? And then I just spit Madam, and then I had to look at the end how to do the Ozel.
Yeah.
So I had it wrong. Oh, well. I'm not perfect.
No,
No,
that's okay.
not even close.
Nobody is.
Anyways, that is our two bands.
Yeah.
We had Crazy Lixx from Chris, Maverick from me. I hope you liked them both.
I hope you liked mine better.
Yeah, that's
No, I'm
fine.
just
No,
kidding.
don't make no difference to me. I'm not getting paid.
Yeah, neither
But-
of us are. That's okay.
But as far as those go, I'll leave a link to their website. Usually, it was what I've been trying to do lately. I'll leave a link to their website and a Facebook account if they have one, or something to that effect. I'll try to put a couple links in there so that you guys can find them in our description of our episode, so it makes it easier for you. I hope that helps. I've been doing that lately, just so you can click on there and find their Facebook if you like their stuff. You don't have to go searching, because like that Maverick's a little different because there's a band, the Mavericks, and it kind of
They're actually really hard to find. Just Googling. If you Google
Yeah,
Maverick, I mean,
yeah.
you think about Maverick. There's a lot of things. Well, there's
the old TV show.
there's the Mavericks, like you said. There's Top Gun Maverick. There. I mean,
There's so many things. So
so
Crazy looks a little different.
Yeah,
It's
well, it's
spelled
the two
different
X's
and two X's. So that's pretty easy to find. But I will put links to that in there for you guys. So it's a little easier for you. And they're from Belfast, Northern Ireland. And you'll kind of find where was Crazy Lixx from?
Sweden, and that's my home country. I mean, that's the motherland for me. But
Oh, okay. Mine is Norway.
yeah, so yeah, same thing. Scandinavian. Actually, it's kind of odd we picked bands from overseas. Both of us did.
Well, here's the thing: there's gonna be a theme, because a lot of them come from
Yes.
there. This music is very big over there in Europe.
Like your DAD from Finland.
Yep.
Yep. The gentleman we just had an interview with from Rhino Bucket. He was from Finland, Denmark.
Denmark. Yep. Was it Denmark?
Yeah, one of them's from Finland, the other one's from Denmark.
Denmark is DAD.
Yep, and I think
yep, and George is from
Finnish.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you'll notice these newer bands that are coming out and sounding 80s. A lot of them come from Sweden and Scandinavia over in that area because this music is huge over there still. Or
it got bigger.
It got big again.
Yeah,
and it's big over there now, and I'm hoping that kind of we're trying to bring it to the U.S. so that more people, know what the 80s were about, because it was all about a fun time back then. It was really good.
Well, they say everything comes back eventually.
Yeah, well,
there's
some things I don't want.
Right. Bell-bottom pants.
You missed it. I just cut my hair like yesterday. It was about this long. And my wife's like, "You're not growing a freaking mullet, are you?" And I go, "Yeah."
I'm bringing it back.
She goes, "The hell you are. We're getting a divorce." I liked it back then. I don't like it now.
I tried to bring it back in like 2010. Every now and then I used to deal blackjack.
Yeah.
And maybe I told you this, but every now and then on like KMOT, if there's a story about like a news story about gaming in North Dakota, there's a clip of me dealing blackjack with my little hair in a ponytail. And
oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have glasses on and I'm like, "Who's that? Oh my God, that's me. I had the mullet. I was bringing it back." Didn't take.
Yeah. I know I've had this haircut for so long that it starts getting long and gets on my ears, and it just starts to bug me.
You just cut it yourself, don't you?
Yeah. My wife does, but I mean, I could do most of it, but I can't get the back very well, so I just let her do it. And she likes doing it, but she doesn't like doing the back so much.
The back. Yeah. It's like the back.
Yeah,
like the way back.
Yeah, like the back. She don't like doing that all that much, but she did this last time, which is kind of nice. Anyways, that is our show. That's not really too much information there.
Yeah, we're starting to get to the TMI zone.
Yeah, we might be getting a little close to that. Anyways, I hope you liked the show. And if you did, comment, hit the like button. Send us a message if you have an idea for a band, or you got a band out there that you might know that we may be interested in doing something like this. And we still will do like a real reaction too. We haven't done one of those in a long time. If there's something you want us to check out, something that we haven't heard, we can do a real reaction in real time, listen to it for the first time on the show and give you our honest opinion of what it's like. We're just trying to do a few newer things, keep it fresh. I know some of our more dedicated listeners are like, "Who's that? I don't even know who that is." Bear with us. We'll get the big bands too.
We'll get back to the Bon Jovis that we're talking about.
Yeah, the Bon Jovis and whatever, the Def Leppards and stuff like that. I mean, there's so much of that stuff that we could do. These little lesser known bands are kind of fun to do because, it kind of gives us a fresh feeling, and hopefully it gives you guys the same feeling that, hey, there is some new stuff out there that I can listen to. I don't have to listen to Def Leppard for the 500th time or, whatever. There are bands out there that are doing some current stuff, and we like to promote that as well. And unfortunately, some of these newer bands, that are lesser known will be more likely to give us an interview too. So, we may reach out to them. Who knows? So we only know when we know. So
yeah.
Anyways, Chris, you got anything? We're going to interrupt there.
I don't have anything else other than, like always, I just reiterate what you said. Please subscribe if you like what we're doing. If you don't, you can say that in the comments too. Tell us.
Yeah.
You can give us the what's the straight dope or the we don't constructive criticism. I'm all about it.
Yep.
I don't care about the, if your mama said or your mama told you, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. I don't care. Let me have it.
Yeah. It is what it is.
But yeah, please subscribe. It's only going to help us get better.
Right. Exactly. So until the next time, we will see you later. And thank you again for watching.
Thanks for watching.
See ya. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really hope you enjoyed our content. If you did, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. We'd greatly appreciate it. Links to everything we discussed will be included in episode notes. Feel free to check those out as well. Until next time, stay golden, Pony Boy, and rock on.